listening to the official Temple University Football Coaches Show with Gelb and Chase on Philly's #1 college radio station, WHIP.
All right, that's us, Philly's #1 college radio station, WHIP, 11:30 a.m. here on the East Coast. Eagles play the Chiefs tonight, but we're going to take a quick time out from the Eagles coverage because it's time for the Temple University Football Coaches Show, and we'll take a look at the offense this week as we welcome in the offensive coordinator for the Temple University Football Owls, and that's Marcus Satterfield. Marcus, it's Zach Gelb and Chase Sr. Thanks for a few minutes. How are you?
Doing well. Sitting out on the practice field. We just finished up a good, enthusiastic, physical, open week Thursday practice.
Well, that sounds great. And this Temple team, they start off 0-3. They're getting off to a little bit of a slow start. They went up against Fordham, and that was a crushing defeat where they lost in the final seconds by a score of 30-29. As you enter this first bye week of the season and you have Idaho coming up next, what are some things that you like about this offensive unit so far, and what are some things that need to improve?
The things that, like any 0-3 team right now, I'm sure is saying is that, you play the what-if game, and that usually means you're 0-3. But we've got to eliminate things that we self-inflict on ourselves. Too many times our drives are being stopped by a procedure penalty, a holding penalty, a drop ball, a missed assignment. There's too many of those that's going on, in a game. You're always going to have a missed assignment. You're going to have a stupid, a penalty that somebody's just once or twice a game, maybe, tops, that you can survive. Right now, there's too many for us to be able to survive this early in our, in the progression of us getting our offense going. The thing I like is when we do get a first down to start a drive, and we do get it going, it usually ends up down inside the 20, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal attempt, or we're getting down there. It's just to answer your question in a long, with a long answer, that we just have to stop killing ourselves. And then there's some good, there's some good things with the playmakers outside when we're getting it to them, but we've got to be way more consistent than we are right now.
I think another big issue is finishing off drives. When you get into the red zone, you want to go out there and put up 7 points on the board instead of settling for a field goal attempt. What has been your message to your offensive unit so far, as you've already been through 3 games, about once you get inside the 20, really walking away with 6 or 7 points on the board?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a mentality of when we get there, we've got to be able to run the football with more efficiency. We can't run the ball, get it 1st and 10 on the 18 and run the ball on 2nd and 9, on the 17. We've got to be productive in the run game. When it becomes a point where we get down there, like against Notre Dame, and we couldn't really move the line of scrimmage and we had to throw it, that gets tough. The field shrinks, and they're able to cover more ground with not as much area to have to cover. So we have to be able to run the football and be physical down there. It's what we do offensively. There's not a lot of the big, heavy, 3 tight ends, 2 back sets that you see a lot of, in the NFL game. Some colleges still do it, but we got to be able to win one-on-one battles up front. I think once we start doing that, and we're getting closer, I think the production in the red zone will be, a lot better.
Coach, it's Chase Sr. Thanks for hopping on with us. Connor Riley at times this season has looked really good, and at other times he's obviously struggled, but that's what happens when you get a quarterback under center who doesn't have much experience. He's only got 1 touchdown pass, but when he's been given time, he's shown that he's got a really good arm, he's accurate with his passes, and he's really smart. When he doesn't have his first option, he checks down to his second and third options. But from the offensive coordinator's perspective, what are some things that Connor Riley must work on moving forward to build on some of the bumps in the road that he's having right now?
Really, the only negative that I've had with him the entire season is just the ball security in the pocket. I mean, we worked that from day one of just, understanding when you're moving around, there are people, especially in a pocket, not just an open field. Ball security is crucial. You can't have one hand on the ball. You got to keep 2 hands on the ball. And you got to throw the ball away, and you can't, you've got to possess the ball when the whistle blows. And, that's the only times that I've really wanted to strangle him is just when he's had issues keeping 2 hands on the ball and being careless with it. Other than that, the kid is, going back when you just reevaluate what's going on the first few weeks, you watch your cut-ups the first few weeks, he's getting knocked around pretty good, and he stands in there and he sees it coming. He takes the shot, he delivers the ball. I'm very happy with where he is, and he came in. There's no way really, I mean, he shouldn't have played against Fordham, and he basically told Coach Rowley he was going to kick his butt, if he didn't put him in. So we let him go in and told him not to keep the ball, and then he keeps the ball and scores, which is a good play. But we tried to protect him. He went in there and he operated the system. He got the ball out of his hands quickly, was accurate, got completions, and scored 3 touchdowns. I think the 3 touchdowns he was in there that scored out of 3 possessions was a total of under, I think, 6 minutes, 40 seconds, somewhere around there. So.
Now, when last week, obviously Juice Granger gets a start. P.J. Walker also saw some time as well. How banged up was Connor? Was it the coaching staff just trying to save his leg and avoid any further injury, and kind of save him heading into the bye week, or were you guys confident in Juice and P.J.?
We were very confident in Juice and P.J., but it was a situation where we didn't really know. We couldn't say, all right, Juice, go play. Connor, don't dress out. We'll put PJ in, because we didn't know at the time. It's a decision you got to make with PJ being a freshman, with a red shirt and everything. It's a touchy situation, and when you put him in, if you don't put him in, if Juice doesn't struggle, it's not an issue. If Juice struggled or got hurt, what would we do? So, we put Connor in pads instead. If it's an emergency, we're going to put you in there and you can hand the ball off. Because all week he's saying, I can do it, I can do it. And we'll go through quarterback individual, and it hurt me. Like I would stop. He couldn't move, and he had a bone bruise and an AC something sprain and a high ankle sprain, and just couldn't move. And so we went into it saying, this kid needs a break, one, so he doesn't hurt it any worse. If he goes out there and plays 70 snaps, will he tear something? Will something break? So we wanted to give him a couple weeks of rest, and we had all the confidence in the world in Juice to get it done, and we struggled. And as you know, in anything, if you're struggling, you got to change it up a little bit. If you're playing golf and you can't hit the ball off the tee, you go buy a new driver. So that's the decision we made at halftime is, all right, PJ, let's go with it. And once we do that, then you got to commit to PJ to getting ready to play the rest of the year, whether it be a substantial amount of time or backup time, whatever it may be. We've committed to that, and then Connor comes in at the end. Thank goodness he threatened to beat somebody up on the sideline to get in, and we let him go in, and he ends up at least giving us a chance to win the game. But we had no intention of him playing a snap.
Marcus Satterfield joins us on the hotline. This is the Temple University Football Coaches Show with Gelb and Chase on Philly's #1 college radio station, WHIP. And, Coach, I remember when Matt Rule took the job here, he came into our studio and they said they were moving to the pro spread and they want to throw the football compared to, or in styles of the past regimes that have been here at Temple University, it's been that Temple tough run kind of approach. And then he also said when he wants fans to get to the stadium early and sit down for the first play, not knowing what to expect. You saw some trickery in that Houston game where they took a deep shot early on in that game on the first play and it was intercepted. Do you want to see some more big plays from this offensive unit as the season continues to move forward?
Yeah, we have to and it's my responsibility to get it going. We've got to push the ball down the field and take more shots, and we can't just nickel and dime people to death, because when you do that, you're asking you're asking guys that are in the first year of any type of offense like they're in now compared to where they've been in the past to put together, 12, 13 plays and score a touchdown without screwing up. And chances are, 13 plays, we're going to find a way to mess it up and stall a drive. So we've got to be able to get balls down the field and score quickly. And that's a focus that we're looking at currently, and we're going to really make a commitment to not come out of a game where we're not at least giving our guys a chance to run by somebody and catch the ball and push the defense.
I've been really impressed with Chris Coyer's transition from quarterback to tight end. He's got 10 catches on the year for 90-plus yards, caught a touchdown pass last weekend against Fordham. He's looked good when the ball's been thrown to him. He's shown that he's had really good hands. Do you plan on implementing him more in the offensive game plan moving forward? Because he's making a smooth transition from that quarterback position to tight end.
Yeah, I trust, if you're ranking the offensive people that you trust to, make a play in a crucial situation, yeah, he's one of the top 1 or 2. I know, like the other day, the touchdown that he caught, we called a play, we called, something in our offense, so we just line up and we say, set hot, and see what the defense is in. We looked at the sideline, and I saw it was man coverage, and the first person, I was like, Chris will win, here we go. And, I didn't hesitate a bit. You don't think about it as he's never really played that position, much less it's his third game playing that position. And we're getting ready to ask him to win on a route versus man coverage, and catch. He caught a ball that he had to cross the guy's face in man coverage. It was I don't know if you know. It's a wrist catch where there was no body involved. He had to stick his hands out with a guy on top of him and make the play. To say I'm pleased with where Chris Collier is an understatement. And as you said, I think as the weeks go on, his role will keep growing and growing and growing.
Coach, another big potential prospect for this team has been Deion Miller. He has that 6'5" frame, which a lot of your wide receivers are more on the smaller side. How important is it to go out there and get Deion Miller going? Because especially when you're inside the 20s, he could be a lethal force for your football team.
Right, and we tried to get it to him twice the other day, and he got one at the end in the third quarter. The guy had to grab him, and we got a pass interference, which set up a touchdown. Again, he's getting in shape. Had some hydration issues early on in camp where he didn't get to practice as much, so he's getting back within the offense. And his role again will grow and grow as everybody's will in a new offense. Every week is a week they're older, and one more week that they're into it. So you're right, 100%. Once we get down there, at least he gives you a size mismatch where you can throw a ball up and he can go up and get it, which he's done in the past.
Zire Williams has come in and done a really nice job at running back in the backfield. He leads the team in carries currently, and we all knew that he was a slash and dash back. He could go outside of the tackles, shake and bake, make a couple of nice moves, and make some defenders miss. But he's also shown that he can run in between the tackles, and he's a really tough runner. How high of a ceiling does he have, given that he is only a true freshman and still has 3 years of eligibility after the season?
He's got a tremendous amount of potential, which still doesn't mean anything. But if he continues to work and show the same work ethic that he shows every day since he's been with us, and as long as he keeps the great attitude that he has, the sky's the limit. But I would say he's been a pleasant surprise, but that's kind of what we expected him to do. Early on, kind of ease him into the game against Notre Dame, keep getting him some more carries, and then hopefully by game 4 and 5, then he's getting it even more and being as productive as he is now. But that was a really good game he had at the end of the Fordham game, just getting in space, finding the seams, getting us some big, 12, 14, 18-yard runs.
Coach, you're 0-3 to start off the season. No one wanted to get off to this start, and you have some players that have been struggling. One's been Jim Cooper Jr., who's missed a bunch of field goals. Just as a coach, how do you keep a player's confidence up after starting out 0-3 and just trying to get that first win on the schedule?
It's not easy. You have to, the worst thing you can do is start trying to make them feel good. You can't sit there and go, it's all right, guys. We'll get it. You have to keep your thumb down, and you have to keep pressing, and you have to explain the process of, there was a time when Alabama, before Nick Saban got there, was 2-4, and there was a time when Nick Saban was there, they had a losing record in a season before he got it going. It's a process that it's a mentality shift. Even though Matt was here with Coach Golden, they've been gone for a year or two. It's a mentality shift. It's a organizational shift of the thought process behind what we do things. We try to show the kids this is how we're going to do them. We're 0-3 guys. We're not going to panic and change things. We're not going to be reactive to the situation. That's stupid to well, we're 0-3. Let's change this and start really focusing on this more. You should have been focusing on that earlier, and that's what we try to do. This is what we do every week. We'll make adjustments personnel-wise based on how kids are playing. Are they committed? Are they doing what they're supposed to be doing? If they are, great. If not, we'll maneuver some situations, manipulate the situation, get the right people in the game. Other than that, we just stay the course. And don't look at the initial, it's 0-3, let's panic, change it. Look at it individually from, okay, we're 0-3. We got next practice, let's get better. Next practice, let's get better, which leads you into the next game, and just try to take it step by step, lay out the process for them, and you just keep being demanding. Don't let them slip up, and hopefully the end result. And, by the end of the season, the tide is turned, the fortunes have changed, and we got more wins and losses.
Coach, we appreciate a few minutes today. Have a great weekend, and hopefully we do see a win up against Idaho coming up in 2 weeks. We appreciate a few minutes today.
And I appreciate you being nice saying it's not a great start. the start we've got right now sucks. We're mad, and we're going to get it fixed. And the student section is unbelievable. Unbelievable. My wife, we grew up in the South, SEC type people, and Tennessee games and Auburn games, and our student section is awesome, and our band is awesome. So we'll work our butts off, and we'll get it fixed. I just want them to keep coming out, and we'll give them a good product to come see.
Coach, believe me, we firmly believe that this program is headed in the right direction, and that's a consensus around a lot of this fan base. So just keep plugging away. We believe in you guys.
We sure will. Y'all have a great day.
All right, man.
Coach Satterfield right there, and